In Russia, the trading of cryptocurrencies will be allowed, but only under the condition that investors who meet certain criteria will be granted permission to deal in cryptocurrencies on large exchanges that have been approved. Because commodities are defined in the same way in both Canada and Australia, it is quite likely that Bitcoin assets will be classified as commodities in Russia. This is because of the similarities between the two countries. Equivalent to this, the classification of commodities is carried out in both Canada and Australia in a manner that is equivalent. Following the recent occurrences that have taken place, the Minister of Finance of Russia has stated that eligible investors will be granted permission to trade cryptocurrencies on the key exchanges that are located within the borders of the country. This is a consequence of the recent events that have taken place. It is in response to the recent events that have taken place that this is being said. In response to this action, Colin Brown, a researcher who specializes in blockchain technology, expressed his excitement by adding that Russia is looking to make some significant moves in the realm of digital currency development. As a result of this action, Brown displayed his apparent satisfaction. Licensed trading platforms. Brown is a researcher who specializes in the field of blockchain technology and is a specialist in the technology itself. The demonstration of Brown's capabilities centers on blockchain technology as the subject matter within the context of a government-reviewed draft that was made available to the general public in the month of June. Examination of the experimental legislative framework for the regulation of transactions involving cryptocurrencies and digital currencies was carried out after the investigation was completed. It was during this time period that the concept of this authority began to take shape for the very first time. It was during this time that the idea originally came into existence. It is important to bring to your notice the fact that the plan has not yet established the standards that must be satisfied in order to be deemed a qualified investor. This is something that should be brought to your attention. The completion of this work constitutes an unquestionable requirement that must be met. There have been 7 large exchanges in Russia that have been granted licenses, and at some point in the future, they will be permitted to enable the trading of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies. These exchanges will be able to fulfill the role of middlemen in the trading of cryptocurrencies for their consumers, which will be practicable going forward. Exchanges such as the National Commodity Exchange, the CTS Exchange, CS Exchange, the Eastern Exchange, and the Moscow Exchange are all examples of exchanges that are included in this category. The Moscow Exchange, the Saint. Petersburg Exchange, the Saint. Petersburg International Mercantile Exchange, the Saint. Petersburg Currency Exchange, and the Moscow Exchange are some other examples of exchanges. Other examples include the St. Petersburg Exchange. Anatoly Exakov, who serves as the chairman of the Financial Market Committee of the state EMA, has stated that the following is also true. These regulated exchanges have finished all of the operating procedures, which is evidence that they are able to provide services that are related with digital assets at this time. Exakov is the one who made this assertion. This is the remark that Exakov made in his comment. Exakov is said to have been reported as saying, if only the legal conditions are created for their work, they will immediately join the process after it has been established. This is according to the reports that have been circulating. This is a presumption that arises as a consequence of the fact that this is the situation. At this point, I am in a position to make the assumption that there will be no issues associated with this. As an additional point of interest, the Russian Ministry of Finance has proposed the idea that the assets that are connected to Bitcoin ought to be categorized as commodities. In light of the circumstances that already exist, this is an additional recommendation that has been put out. The scenario that is currently in place in Canada, Australia, Indonesia, and Brazil would be comparable to the one that is already in place here. CNF has reported in the past that the Russian government is working toward the aim of recognizing Bitcoin mining as a lawful economic activity. This goal remains a priority for the Russian government. In the present moment, efforts are being made to achieve this one goal. The fact that this is the case suggests that the government is making headway toward accomplishing this objective within the month that precedes the publishing of this material. Through the provision of this information, CNF made it available to us. In addition to resolving any regulatory concerns that might be present in the mining industry, the purpose of this method is to provide miners with the opportunity to acquire legal validity. One piece of information that has only lately come to light is as follows. According to the conversations that took place during the BRICS Economic Summit that was held in Moscow, the BRICS nations intend to establish a currency that is backed by gold in the month of September. According to the conversations that took place at the meeting, this outcome is the result. The information that was obtained from the meeting indicates that this is the case, according to the information that was obtained. The purpose of this program is to make a contribution to a bigger effort that is now being done to foster economic cooperation and stability among member states. To make a contribution to that initiative, which is the target of this program, is the goal of the objective of this program. These three organizations, the United States Congress, the Treasury, and the Federal Reserve, are gradually incorporating XRP into their own financial systems. This movement is being driven by the capabilities and effectiveness of the cryptocurrency. The effectiveness of the cryptocurrency is the driving force behind this revolution that is currently taking place. The Securities and Exchange Commission has been contacted by Ripple Labs in order to initiate discussions with the company. The company's goal is to negotiate a settlement in order to negotiate money. A number of Wall Street financial organizations, such as BlackRock, JP Morgan, and Wells Fargo, are among the corporations that are purchasing XRP in order to take advantage of the several applications that it may have in the future. It was only recently that BlackRock made public a study document that said that XRP will be used for payment and would not be considered a security. This information was brought to light relatively recently. The findings of this investigation were presented in the report of the study. In the most recent past, the findings of this investigation were published in a journal that made use of XRP as the blockchain component of its FedNow payment system. This journal was relevant to the research that was being conducted. The goal of the Federal Reserve is to enhance the speed with which stable currency and sources of fiat money can be converted into one another. It is becoming increasingly obvious that this is the case as time goes on. The purpose of this action is to accomplish the goal of making the utilization of FedNow more convenient. It was the Federal Reserve that broke this news to the general public. In addition, it was made more available to the general population. In the process of establishing a partnership with FedNow, Ripple, a company that specializes in open-source distributed ledger technology and international payments, is currently in the process of forming a relationship. Not only that, but FedNow is also an expert in international payments. Furthermore, there is a risk that this cooperation will involve financial transactions that take place in other countries. Because of its lightning fast speed and low cost, XRP is being utilized by governments and businesses all over the world. This is due to the fact that the cryptocurrency is extremely inexpensive. In addition, this is due to the fact that it is a cryptocurrency that is utilized in every region of the planet. The potential of the cryptocurrency is brought into sharp view as a result of the fact that monetary transactions are taking place on the ledger of XRP from all over the world. The price of XRP is anticipated to increase to $550 over the next few months, according to projections that were provided by artificial intelligence algorithms such as ChatGPT as part of their research. Taking into consideration the anticipated rise in price, this is the conclusion that may be formed. A member of the International Swaps and Derivatives Association who holds the highest ranking executive position believes that XRP is essential in order to facilitate the trading of derivatives that are worth more than $1.2 quadrillion. According to the executive of the ISDA, this is the opinion. This viewpoint is held by the executive of the ISDA, according to the statement. If central banks were to simply purchase XRP, it would not be sufficient. Additionally, they aspire to discover a means by which they may include it into their international payment networks. As a result of the fact that XRP is a decentralized digital currency, this results. The reasoning behind the utilization of XRP is that it is a decentralized exchange, which is the reason for this particular circumstance. Because these financial institutions want XRP for their CBDC, they have begun the process of purchasing a considerable quantity of cryptocurrency. This is because they are in need of XRP, according to claims made by professionals who have been independently confirmed as well as a well-known capitalist corporation. It is anticipated that